Hi everyone, for today's review we'll be looking at Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Cheetor, and this is one of the late figures released in the line. I think late or maybe late 1998, early 1999. So this figure, it wasn't in the stores for a long time. I think it's because the series was ending. So unfortunately I wish the series would have had a season 4, or season 3 would have been a little bit longer. But enough about that. This review is about the figure. So as you can see, if you're familiar with the characters in Beast Wars, Transmetal 2 went back and mixed both like realistic, let's say, creatures with you know metallic parts such as robot parts, both in the beast form and robot mode, and it was more of like an isometric design. So as you can see, the left side and the right side are different. So that was pretty cool, especially like on the toys. And what is crazy about the toys is that there are even sometimes more details than the model in the show. And probably because in the day they couldn't animate the models as detailed as they can in today's day. But yeah, it's like, let me take a closer look at the sculpting done on the figure. So as you can see, for the head, is they did a pretty well job. It captures some of like Cheetor's aspects, like the head crest and everything. But see on the face too, look at the ears. They're also different on each side. So it's like the small little details that they added to the figures. And honestly, I think this is one of the best Transmetal 2 toys where, as you can see, the kibble, it it uses its both on the form, so there's really no kibble to see on the figure. Mostly because the hands on the beast mode become the robot hands, and the legs too. But as you can see, for the sculpting, the chest in general is really well sculpted. And unfortunately, because of the paint, this figure's like what, going on 30 years now. So some of the paint has scratched off, especially on the metallic parts. So just beware on the plastic too if you're getting this figure starting to crack. They sort of used, I don't know what type of plastic they use, but they use this clear plastic for all the metallic parts, but on the joints over time, due to stress and years of wear and tear, I noticed that some of the figures do crack, and I think this is noticeable on the Cheetor figure. Like I seen a lot of them on eBay where it's missing the right arm for this reason that it started to crack. And I think what I did on mine, I think I switched the shoulders. I don't think these are the correct shoulders, but I haven't checked recently. But even on the show, they changed some things up. And on the gun itself, it does have the feature where it launches the missile. So pretty cool. So they did integrate this on the show. As you can see, also the gun is chipping the paint away. But yeah, this was a deluxe figure back in the day, and let me compare it to the most recent Cheetor figure from the Kingdom line. So here's some size comparison with the most recent Cheetor, and as you can see, I think over time deluxe figures have shrunken down a bit, especially if more complexity is added to it. But if you want to display this as your season 1 Cheetor, I think it works great too, because I think the toy is not really as accurate either. So it's whichever version you prefer. And as for transformation, I don't think it's that difficult. You start with pulling down the shoulders, this level here to the side. Oh, let me see. Maybe it's been stuck in there. But it's like this. You pull it down on each side to open up the chest. There we go. And the arm popped off. Okay, so you start by opening up the chest. Then you turn the head and then pop its back or stomach up. Push out the beast head. And let me see. Okay, there we go. Close out the stomach. So now you turn the hands. And for the robot thumb, you're supposed to just move it down. So like this. And you do the same for the other arm. And then for the waist, you just turn it around. And the legs are pretty much the same. There's no transformation. And then the gun, you just place it in place on the back and it taps over here. Sorry about that. It's not as easy to tap the gun back in place while recording, but there we go. But here's a closer look at the sculpt. As you can see, the figure's no longer like a cheetah. I think the designs for Transmetal 2, they took a little bit of liberties, but I think it looks great. I really like this design, especially when I saw the show, and then when I bought this toy. It's not this version that I bought at the store, but when season 3 was airing, I did actually buy a copy of this toy at the store. So it's crazy, you know, just looking back at the Transformers franchise, how much it has changed over the years. But as I mentioned before, there's pretty much no kibble in both forms, because as you saw during the transformation, I mean, it's pretty simple transformation, but I think it works for this character. But yeah, if you're a collector, oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention is that during the show, or I don't know, the toy line, it had a gimmick that you reveal like the spark. So most of the Transmetal 2 have this gimmick where the spark is hidden somewhere along in the figure, and you just have to either remove move something like this one to reveal, you know, their spark or their allegiance, if it was a Maxim or Predacon. But yeah, if you're looking to complete your collection, I'll say just be careful, as I mentioned before, that, you know, based on the years of these figures and the metal paint use, that is starting to, you know, the paint is starting to scratch off, or somewhere the plastic parts are starting to crack, as you saw in this figure too. And let me know if you have any requests for any reviews you want me to do. It could be from any toy line. And once again, thank you for watching.